Thank you, everybody. It's great to be here, and I look forward to having a chance to share with you some of our thoughts. All right, let me jump in here, and hopefully everybody can see my slides at this point. I'm going to share with you a bit of my journey with meeting with customers before and during the pandemic. And what I was struck with most was how the future of innovation was really pulled forward so aggressively during the pandemic. Businesses that had long contemplated transitions to recurring revenue models were suddenly looking to implement rapid business model transformation to subscription to compete effectively. And we call this really everything as a service within Oracle. What I've learned through these discussions is that for businesses to change to a subscription-based business is a lot more than just a business model transformation. It's really a mindset change, and it's a belief system of sorts. You need to move from seeing yourself or your customer experience that you provide as a series of moments culminating in a transaction to a lifetime ongoing relationship as a service. It transforms everything you do for the customer into an ongoing statement of their importance to your brand. And this is why we see this move to subscription as rethinking everything as a service. And really for us, that implies the end of ownership as businesses have thought about it. And it's important, I think, to think about why subscription models make sense for customers and businesses. First, you know that customers can spread the costs and payments over time rather than shelling out large upfront cash payments. That gives a customer a feeling of ongoing customer control. I think also it allows customers to become what I call asset-light firms, making it possible because they hold fewer fixed and intangible assets on their balance sheets, and that manifests as higher return on asset ratios, especially for a lot of our customers that are in heavy equipment industries. It also helps customers predict their financial future to a degree because their costs are fixed during the term of the contract, and that provides them the ability to stay within negotiated entitlements such as usage rates or quantities of users. And this can be especially important for companies as they shift in the market. Like we've been through this past year when things change very rapidly from physical touch-oriented services to digital models of communication. So that's sort of all the benefits of subscription models that make sense for customers. For businesses, it's really this change in how they think about customer success and customer satisfaction and retention. We almost take for granted now this financial construction of net dollar retention. That's a big thing we hear about a lot in the venture world, and we hear about it a lot in among businesses now, which really measures the rate a business expands its existing relationship with its base of current customers. So we see a lot of changes that are positive for both customers and for the businesses that serve them, and it's really signifying the end of ownership as we thought about it. And this broad appeal of subscription models really is being seen in some research that we've recently done. Early this year, we published some new research with a marketplace platform, Oracle, where 75% of the respondents said that they plan to differentiate their business through subscriptions. So it's moved from basic subscription models where we used to see freemium and unlimited services such as usage, where customers pay on a per-use basis, to now predefined subscriptions where customers have access to certain set of services, even outcome-based pricing in many cases, where we're transitioning to these later subscription models to offer companies new ways to unlock their revenue opportunities. So very broad appeal of subscription business models, and something we're seeing a lot. What's What's most important, though, is as every business looks at subscriptions, they have to realize that it really requires what we call a head-to-toe change in the way they think, not just about their pricing structure, but about their entire culture, their entire financial systems, their entire revenue generating and reporting systems. It's relatively simple today, as we know in the consumer world, to subscribe to media streaming services or being able to provide monthly deliveries or other consumer goods and services. But to companies to really sell subscriptions to other businesses, the complexity of their relationships can really skyrocket. So we need to, look at an example of an industrial manufacturer who wants to add equipment as a service where they're responsible for any maintenance or repairs or replacements needed. Maybe a high-tech manufacturer that wants to start charging for product usage using different measures like units or volume or overages. And the point being here that this is much more than a technology change. Subscriptions really change how businesses run. Financial systems have to support recurring revenue models in real time, flexible billing, go-to-market models have to change the way we think about long-term relationships and the importance of renewals. And supporting the complete customer lifecycle requires a reworking of internal systems and processes. We've actually gone through this ourselves at Oracle. We're living proof of the power of transformation to subscription. Our CEO, Safra Katz, recently was quoted as talking about how we've literally changed our entire business through subscription and sped up the clock on our own transformation. As new technologies are becoming available, we're allowing companies to bring them in and leverage the strength and deeper customer understanding. This is something we've done ourselves at Oracle, as Safra has talked about, and it's the hardest part of the transformation, not the technology part, not the software, but the rethinking in a modern global environment of how to run your business. And traditionally, one of the barriers to that we've seen is siloed engagements across the front office and the back office. Think of all the organizations that touch a customer relationship during a subscription. It's not just about the front office part, but it's about the entire life cycle of customer engagements. It's a huge shift, obviously, in the way that you sell and how you incentivize your sales teams to think not about the transaction, about the recurring relationship, but it goes far beyond the sales change. Customer support now shifts to recurring interactions, often not mediated through an IT organization, but where business users go directly to vendors or providers for recurring interactions. Finance obviously has to shift from one-time billing to recurring. In the end, it means everybody who's responsible for the customer relationship has to be invested in this change in order to secure the chance for the highest customer renewal. Okay, so this is a way of saying that subscription success really starts behind the scenes with the big changes in your business here. If you think about, again, the problem is that organizations are creating their own silos, and these silos have to be broken down. Marketing needs to have that historical data from ERP. Service agents and sales reps have to be able to leverage data like usage and renewal data to negotiate effectively with customers. And just more generally, commerce needs pricing and inventory information to be most effective. So this is why we're taking a different approach at Oracle with providing our own subscription solution. And we're heavily focused on closing the gap between the front office CX experience and the back office ERP, actually blurring the lines in many cases between front and back office. So our major differentiators are what we call everything as a service. It's about three fundamental things: building recurring relationships by launching products across all pricing models, unifying the front and the back office, and using this newfound unification to drive insights to the front office that allows the proper structure, the proper customer relationship to be built to drive retention and renewals. We believe that if you empower both sales and service teams and the end-to-end journey to configure, manage, and renew subscriptions at any part of the life cycle, you will have a much more effective a business model, much more effective success. Just a couple of quick customer stories on this. We've seen this with a few of our customers. We may all know Zebra as a barcode company. Their devices are everywhere from warehouses to hospitals to grocery stores. They're also a global enterprise mobile computing company. And one of the things that they did today in partnering with Oracle and TCS is they're continuing to improve their subscription-based customer experience. They've had great success with Commerce, CPQ, Oracle ERP, and when asked about moving to subscriptions, they noted that these pre-built integrations that really think about transformation as a whole company effort really help them to change their mindset, to change their belief structure. And they now believe that they've been given what they call the art of the possible when selling subscriptions, because they can bundle hardware, software services, and professional services all together and go to market with really some amazing offerings. The second story I just want to highlight is Sensata Technologies. This is a company that's a leading industrial technology company developing sensors. We're going to be hearing from them later today in this conference. Sensor-based technologies, including controllers and software. Sensata has historically been focused on the design, manufacture, and sale of hardware components, and they've established processes and systems to support the creation of physical items to be sold. So recently they started diversifying their product line to think about ways to have more subscription-based as-a-service business programs aimed at really being able to create a subscription model for the Sensata Insights business unit. So now this business model contains connected products and related services for fleets of customers in various selling scenarios. So they, again, have gone through this transformation, which has been particularly effective. So at Oracle, we think about the key considerations for migrating to subscriptions as really being the following. First, in today's market, you have to move fast. Clearly, the future has been pulled forward in the subscription space, but you also have to take time to develop a strategy that goes across your entire organization. As part of this strategy, you need to think about these new subscription-based KPIs, things like net dollar retention from customers and the ability to expand what we're doing. You have to unify subscription data across the entire organization. That becomes very important for us. And you have to choose the right partners. We believe partners like TCS and Oracle. At Oracle and Tata Consulting, we have 3 decades of strategic partnerships. We've been working together on key solution frameworks, and we've developed a joint center of excellence that we believe can be really effective to all of you. So those are some of the thoughts I wanted to share today. I'll turn it back over to you. Thank you.